emotional, baby. Highly emotional, baby. Don't take it personally. Highly emotional, baby. Highly emotional, baby. Highly emotional, baby. Don't take it personally. Highly emotional, baby. Highly emotional, baby.
3, 2,
Highly emotional, baby. Don't take it personally.
Party, blame it on the booze. Grab a gun if you want it. Make fake news on the news. Wipe your tears, cry, baby, baby, baby. Ooh, it's not about you.
What's going on, legend? A massive welcome to this video, and this is my first food challenge of 2021. How exciting! Thanks so much for being here. You'll see here a big ass burger, and I'm no stranger to burger challenges. This one here is I believe it's called the Home Run Burger Challenge, which is run by Varsity here in Australia. So they've got all sorts of various locations around Perth. And for the month of January, they were running this food challenge where it's basically, I didn't get to weigh it, and I don't know if it's actually accurate. It just has like a big, spread of the ingredients and stuff like that. But I believe it's like 800 grams to 1 kilo of like this big, thick, and wide meat patty with a heap of cheese, some sauce and all that sort of basic stuff with the widest, girth of a meat patty and burger bun that I've ever seen, and essentially a big pile of chips underneath, and essentially you just basically need to take it down as fast as you can. So I saw on their wall of fame that there were people that did it in as fast as like 8.5 minutes and stuff like that. So of course I came into the challenge wanting to get a similar time. But much to my chagrin, I realised that I'm not super good at eating a lot of bread because, as you would have seen, this burger came out piping hot. So essentially, my strategy with doing this was to, when the guy actually brought it out, I was surprised at how hot it was, and he wanted me to start eating straight away. And I was like, "Oh, do you mind if I just let it sit for a bit here, man?" Luckily he let me, and I got to let it sit for a good few minutes, so that way I could take some photos and stuff like that. And once I had done that, it was basically go time. So my strategy with hitting this was basically just to take down the meat patty as fast as I could. But to be honest, fam, it was still really hot. It was still like it was kind of dry. Like, it wasn't the best tasting meat I've had before when it comes to a burger. But because it was still so hot, you would have seen that I just poured over the barbecue sauce, so that way it could cool it down a little bit and get a bit of different flavour happening. So goal essentially was just chip at the burger bun. Obviously not the burger bun, the burger meat. And then when I got bored of that taste, switch back to some of the bun. And the bun tasted decent, like it reminded me of the taste of garlic bread, but it was also very hot and kind of dry. And so the goal was essentially just to switch back and forth to get it down as quick as I could, and then with the burger being taken down, just to chip away at the chips and basically get the job done. So you didn't win this, you didn't get the meal for free or anything from completing it. It was just obviously a food challenge. So this was me going for career win number 13. Not that it's a career, but that's me going for food challenge win number 13. And essentially, just having a good time. I did feel that they charged quite a lot for it. This was like $41.50, including the little thing of barbecue sauce to be able to do this challenge. So it was just for a bit of fun, given that there isn't very many food challenges going around in Perth, Western Australia. So I was happy just to jump at one because, you don't really see them too often. So hope you enjoy seeing me eat and chow down. But what I wanted to do with this video as well is share a bit of insight into how someone can have fun like food challenges and stuff like that without stuffing up their progress. So obviously it's not like a super healthy thing to do often, and I would definitely not encourage it where you want to go out of your way and do food challenges often. But if you have a good relationship with food and a fairly good consistency around calorie management, and you're fairly consistent with getting in lots of protein and plants, and are of relative leanness, well then there's actually no reason why you can't be doing fun food challenges and big feeds like this, once a month or so, if that's your thing. Because obviously you don't feel too crash hot after you've finished doing it. It's just all for a bit of fun, because like if you think about when you're doing like marathons or just sporting challenges and stuff like that, it's a mental game to push through when you feel like quitting. So same with food challenges, often some of them, like, you're pushing past fullness, so you're pushing past the signals that your body's giving you, where it's like, we're full bro, stop eating, we're full, stop eating, but you push through it, and that's where the name food challenge comes into things. So me, because I've done quite a few in the past, and when I'm committing to training for food challenges, I can get my stomach capacity pretty decent, so that I know that I can handle a volume of food like this. But obviously it's just all part of the fun. Like, challenges are fun, like it's fun to be able to push through and get wins and stuff like that, and that's where happiness comes from in life, like overcoming obstacles and pushing through problems and facing challenges and coming out on top. So I definitely don't encourage people to do big feeds like this often, but obviously if your goal is to stay lean and doing them from time to time, this is where it's just a means of calorie management. So I probably wouldn't encourage someone to do food challenges and stuff while you're trying to get lean. So like, if your goal is fat loss, it's probably not a wise idea to do food challenges, because they can range anywhere from 3,000 or 4,000 up to sometimes 10,000 calories depending on size. So let's say, for example, that your maintenance intake of calories, let's say for example that your calorie deficit is like 2,000 calories a day, for example. That would mean that for the week you're taking in 4,000 calories in total. So that's 2,000 times by 7 days, that's 14,000. So if you wanted to do a challenge like this, for example, where this burger challenge would probably come in at a good, 4,000 calories or something, that would mean that you could, on this day of doing the challenge, devote maybe that 4,000 to the challenge itself, and then spread your remaining 10,000 calories across the other 6 days, and that would leave you eating maybe like 1,670 calories according to my calculator across each of those days. And then you would basically do the food challenge on that day, and potentially just, like say for example for this challenge I was doing at about 2 o'clock, so I hadn't eaten anything in the morning, I was just drinking lots of water and stuff, and obviously because of how filling it was, I didn't eat anything after, and then, see what I mean? So you could kind of do that if you really wanted to, but it's obviously not a really sustainable way of creating a approach to food and stuff like that while trying to lean down. But then obviously if you're in maintenance mode like what I am, your intake of calories is much higher, so therefore it's a lot easier to be able to, in quotes, get away with doing food challenges. But with my level of being in the game, I don't actually track calories and stuff. I'm more intuitive, and obviously because I've been tracking on and off for so long, we're talking like 7 or 8 years now, it's kind of easy to know what's in everything and where you're at with your food choices for the day, and how to create well-structured, balanced meals and stuff like that, so you don't even really need to track anymore. So I hope this gives you some insight into how someone can actually stay lean while having big feeds like this as part of the action. Because I don't like when people say, for example, have the whole notion that it is cheat meals and rah, because I don't believe in that sort of labeling around food. My approach is more so seeing all food as fuel for performance, happiness, lifestyle, longevity, and of course pleasure, so that way you can have a well-functioning, well-rounded relationship with food that allows you to be consistent and not stop and start and anything like that, if that makes sense. So that's a bit of extra 2 cents. Like, if you have some more questions around food challenges and stuff like that, feel free to slide into the comments below, and I'd love to keep the conversation going. Otherwise, there are some other videos on my channel around, say for example, how competitive eaters get lean, more insights into this flexible approach to eating. Be aware that I do coach people in terms of how to be able to master this anti-diet, anti-restriction based approach to eating. And if that's something that's of interest to you, feel free to get in touch. There's a lot of info links in the video description. And be aware that I also run a anti-diet clothing store as well, called Fuck Dieting Apparel. So if you're keen to catch yourself some cool one-of-a-kind designs, all basically designed by me, there's also a link for that in the description below. You'll see that in this video I'm wearing one of my promo threads, the Catch and Gains Pokemon inspired one. So if that's something that's up your alley, feel free to check that out. Yeah, otherwise just remember this video is just for entertainment. As I said, I don't encourage people going out of their way to slam huge feeds like this. It's all just for a bit of fun. So if you like this video, obviously give it a like. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you around and check out some other content. If we're not yet friends on social media, feel free to add me. My handles, like I'm around on Instagram, I'm around on Facebook. You can catch me around on most of the big social media platforms. But either way, I really appreciate you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And there we go. Another food challenge win for Angus beef. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next week on Anti-Diet TV. Peace out.
Baby.